Hi, this is Tom Osberg, aka Ginger Khan, and you're listening to Void Signal with Brian McClelland.
How are you?
Um, a bit salty.
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 Mm,
Uh-oh.
Do you want to share with the group? What's got you upset there, buddy?
well, we're all just molecules hurtling through space.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you ever do is enough.
Of course.
No matter how many sit-ups I do, I don't get the 12-pack I want. No matter how many push-ups I do, I don't get the traps that I want.
Mm.
I'm so sorry. I wouldn't even know what it would be like to get half of that.
I just feel like Brian has got me down as this really grumpy guy, so I feel like I've been conditioned into appeasing him with that representation of my personality. I'm actually incredibly content. How are you guys?
I mean, I'm basically Sylvia Plath in Brian's eyes, so
Yeah, I mean,
get it.
it's pretty true. It's
I'm
pretty
gonna
true.
go fucking stick my head in an oven.
I can't help it. Like sometimes I mean, like all I have optics on your lives is social media. So I'm like, man, they are sad people. Like, I better have them on my show. I'm not sure the last time they've spoken to a person. I better check.
Yeah, there's some truth in that, but that's usually on purpose.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Not true. Jamie goes to pool parties. He knows how to be a happy guy.
Yeah. I'm
I do love a good pool party. We only had one day in Vegas, and I really wanted to go to a pool party in Vegas, but not one of the really good exclusive ones. One where like the really scruffy people hang out. The people who couldn't get into the exclusive one,
right,
and just see like all the old haggard old deers. I'd have loved to have done that.
Everyone's just doing like Jaeger shots off of like inflatable pool toys and like...
Yeah, inflatable dolphins.
Yeah.
I really wanted that to be our day in Vegas, but
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we had 3 off days in Phoenix instead, which doesn't quite.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
yeah, right.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I am only.
I was looking forward to Phoenix. I was looking forward to it. It's like 4.5 million people, and I thought it's got to be something about it. And if there is, I just didn't see it. Sorry to any Phoenix listeners, but
it's just cheap. That's why people live there.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be cheap.
The only thing about it is that it is a destination that people don't seem to escape from, and that's the reason there's so many people there. Like, yeah. I mean, if you're in Phoenix, I mean, anybody from Phoenix would probably go, "Yeah, no, they're right."
Yeah. Right. Wait, are you recording it?
Yeah, we are now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying it.
Oh, you mean you didn't
touch it on Phoenix before I ever play theirs? Phoenix, you're great.
Yeah, you're not gonna keep
immediately.
You're not gonna keep my monologue about hurling through space and we're all molecules. I'd be really disappointed.
I can drop it if you want.
No, I want you to keep that shit in. That's people need to hear.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
it's art.
It's art. It sure is.
Before we start down any kind of channel of conversation, can I just take a moment to bring up the irony of this current situation?
Sure.
Being that I and Sam were in the same city for about 40 hours. No, maybe a bit longer. Maybe
it's like 3 days.
Like almost 3 days. Yeah.
Mm.
And not only could we not figure out a way to see each other during that time, not only that, but after returning home and us agreeing that we would have a video call to make up for it, we can't even organize a video call together.
Wow.
This is the only meeting place.
Wow.
Where
I was like, definitely. I was like, this is the only take it where I can get it.
I'll do the heavy lifting, guys, I guess.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome. I'm just like the scheduler. I'll just put it together. It's fine.
You're like the meme of those 2 linking arms,
That's right.
Like void signal in the middle.
That's right. Yeah, and then just the guest is whoever can't put themselves together enough to. Yeah. I mean, I did want to just quickly derail and sidetrack. Like, it's unfortunate that you and Sam missed each other, but it was such a pleasure to get to talk to you in person. Shake hands, have an embrace, have a couple awkward moments. But it was it was my honor. It was such a huge pleasure.
No, it's the same for me actually. It did feel really good to. It felt felt really normal. Like I'd known you for a very long time. You know,
Yeah,
obviously we
same.
talked on this thing a few times, but yeah, it was really normal and natural. And it was like, you know, I'd see you and I'd be like, oh, you know, no, I don't want to talk to him. No, I was like, I'd see you and I'd be like jumping over and having a quick chat, and it felt really nice to just. Oh God, I'm being really mushy. It was okay. It was nice.
It was all right. It was okay, but
Yeah.
it was really nice just to sort of, like you were right. It did feel very natural, very like,
Yeah.
oh, I've known Jamie for fucking ever. It's no big deal. But honestly, in a weird way, you know, I don't mean to like derail and be super self-aggrandizing or anything, but in a weird way, I felt very comfortable with everybody. I mean, I'd never met a lot of people at the festival before, but it was like I knew who they were enough, or through back channels, to be like, oh hey Klaus, oh hey, you know, oh Johan, what's up? Oh, like, you know, all these people that are like, you know, icons of the scene. It was nice. It was nice to suddenly have that confidence, and you and Brian, Black Noise, and Gropner, and Eva X, and everybody just like helped with that a ton. Like honestly, like having former guests of the show like be there gave me so much confidence and so much strength just to walk into a room and be like, that person knows who I am, and you know,
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, we do come off as gods,
right?
but we are just normal people, Brian.
I don't know about that. Anyway, thanks.
We're just like you. We're just like you.
I mean, that's what I keep saying, but you know, either way. But yeah,
I'm glad you felt that confidence. I'm glad you felt that confidence, and I think what kind of helped that was the fact that I don't know if I've ever been to a festival before that was so full of joy and like just general happiness and lots of people smiling. And obviously, you know, the return after COVID is probably the biggest reason for that.
right.
But I think there's just a vibe about the fact that Ali is, you know, created that festival, and Ali is such a positive character, and his team is such a positive set of guys.
Oh, absolutely.
That you walk into that whole event, and it's just all really positive. Like there's no politics. Well, I mean, I can't say that for sure because I didn't get involved in any. There might well be, but it was so just full of joy, and everybody felt that. And I think it just felt like a really big relief as well. So it was such a huge event straight after, you know, the most serious side of the COVID saga. So I think that probably helped as well. But, you know, we all know you as well, and we've talked to you as well. So it's, you know, instantly natural to like, you know, feel comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, it was nice. It was refreshing to acceptance is nice, I guess, is the moral of the story. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say about that shit. So, but have you, the thing I did want to talk about though, just to sort of like, you know, ESA is cool, Jamie's all right, but like, have you seen Sam's new video, like, for Tempest? Has she sent it to you yet?
Sam, is this the one that I saw last week?
No, I did that one in like March. I'm like out on the beach for Thursday.
Oh shit, I haven't seen it then.
Yeah, I don't think I sent that one to you.
Oh. Sorry to bust you out. Sorry to bust you out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sam. But
oh, wow.
But it's fucking awesome. It's fucking sweet. Like, have you seen the Green Knight?
Sent the other one though. I sent him.
I mean, they're all wonderful.
Working.
Like,
the work in progress, which looks very much complete to me. The one that I saw last week, that's great. That's real.
Yeah, I did one more edit after that, so I mean, it wasn't the final, but yeah.
How many more edits are you going to do after this conversation, Sam?
Probably 60.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad I could spare you to work.
Yeah, it's like always what happens when I'm sitting on something for too long. It's like, you know, I've been in the process of writing this album for a year and a half now, and like it was supposed to come out this year, and now it's just like not going to be out until sometime next year, and it's just, you know how it goes. So, there will probably be 60 more edits by the time. Mm-hmm. Just a whole new video, maybe.
Oh, dude, it was so good. What is that?
Excuse me.
What is that saying? Nothing's ever done. It's just when you finish with it.
Mhm.
Like you
Yeah.
could just go on for years, just making. I think. Do you remember that track by Mr. Blue Sky? Was that what it's called? I think I read a piece on that, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I worked on this track for 7 years in the
Mhm.
studio, just making like little changes to it." And I think we can probably relate to that. Probably not as bad as that, but
After 7 years, I would just say, fuck it, it's not worth it anymore.
yeah, just not even release it.
No. I feel like the song is cursed. It's gonna go in the trash.
And I think the quote is like, I think it was misattributed to Shakespeare pretty often, but it's like, no art is ever truly finished, just abandoned.
Right.
I tried to trace the etiology of it once because I was like, I want to get my, attribution of this quote right. And it was like down some rabbit hole. I spent like 2 hours just trying to figure it out. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, why does this matter?
I did that today with something way less like artistic, so I get it.
I mean, I would barely consider it artistic. I just feel like I fall down holes of just like academic nonsense of like, I want to know where this word came from. And it's like, what does it fucking matter? How often do I use it?
I mean, it's
what was your hole? Tell me about the hole you fell in.
Whoa.
This is so embarrassing. Have you heard that audio going around of Jessica Lange from American Horror Story that's like, there's not going to be a swimming pool, you dumb slut?
No. I have not.
So there's like this like audio clip that has been circulating that has been used for basically people like attributing it to horrible situations in their life because of like the pandemic or the economy or whatever.
Sure.
And I was just like, I need to know where that fucking audio clip is from. So I spent like an hour trying to figure it out. And that's what it was from American Horror Story.
Oh, I've fallen down those holes. I'm guilty.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why am I doing this?
Some embarrassing shit holes.
Like once you have this goal in mind, you're like, I don't care how stupid it is. I need to know the answer.
I don't know how many movies I've watched in my life that were just like, I heard a sample of it in a song, and then I'm like, what is this from? And then I just sort of have to like spend obscene amounts of time figuring it out just so I can, I don't know.
Do you have a job, Brian?
This is my job currently. This is what I got. This is what I'm working on. Yeah.
Is this your job, really?
Yes.
All right. Well, I didn't mean to be so personal. I was just wondering, with all the time you have to click on researching. Let's say researching.
No, I try and confine my whole falls into my personal time, which I have very little of anymore. But no, this is my job. My wife pays all the bills as a neuromonitor, so she believed in me.
Mommy.
Yeah, basically. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. But she believed in me enough. I would hope so after 18 years of marriage to be like, hey, pursue this shit. And I was like, okay, I don't know how, but here we go. So.
I mean, you're doing it. Seems like you picked up speed pretty quickly.
It feels that way, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm still like, I don't know. I'm overly humble about it, I guess. I'm always like, oh, yeah, you want to come on this shithole? And it's like, I'm going to have record with IMX in the next like week or so. Like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like, I don't know. I guess I should stop calling it like a piece of shit. I need to be a little more professional about it, maybe. But
definitely.
This is my job, Jamie. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad I gave you the opportunity to tell the world that to show how professional you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Damn.
You almost made me choke on my coffee. But yes.
Do you have a job?
Do you have a job? I do.
You work.
You're listening to it. This is what.
Well, Jamie, do you have a job?
Do you have a job? Looks like you just hang out and make music videos sometimes.
Looks like you just go to pool parties.
Well, maybe that's my job.
Oh, do you just hang out in Phoenix? Tells me a lot.
Maybe.
Tells me a lot about you. Just hanging out in Phoenix.
Oh, dude, Phoenix. I don't think I've ever experienced heat like that. it was about 45 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And we got there at night. So I was like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
Then the next morning, walked out the shitty Motel 6 and it hit me like a fucking, like a wall of ovens.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible.
Just when you're not used to it. Like, LA was so nice in comparison.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, like, climate change has actually been affecting Southern California in like a almost favorable way. Like, it has not been as brutally hot as it has been in the last like previous summers.
Oh, really?
It's funny how people still complain about it, but I'm like, dude, I don't know what the Celsius is, but it's been like average of like 83 degrees here, and it's just like, I'm not complaining about that. It's not Phoenix, and it's not like the UK heat wave that you guys just had. At least we have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, people probably think we're being idiots complaining about that, but our houses are designed to keep heating. So it was just like, fuck this.
Yeah. So I don't think you're being idiots. I think it's fucking typical.
I literally held a bag of frozen sweet corn against my naked groin.
Wow.
For about most of the second night of the heat wave, and I fell asleep on the couch with a sweet corn on my groin. It was like, it was horrible.
How much?
Like,
how much money
on my groin?
How much money did you make from tips that night on your cam?
Well, that is a good point.
Is that your job? Is that your?
He said he was in tech.
Hey, you see?
I just want to underline it was a really big pack of frozen sweet corn.
I got it in bulk. All right, it's a big package.
It wasn't just one cob. It was a really big pack of separated sweet corn.
It was like some baby corn, like. Oh.
That's what I call my penis. Oh, how did you know that?
Oh, I tune into your stream every night. Don't you know? That's me.
Are you gonna show me that little baby corn? Show me that baby corn.
Sorry that we're ruining your.
No, it's fine. This is
you talk about being not professional. Jeez.
Yeah.
Having IMX on here for Christ's sake, and we're talking about baby corn penises.
Here's your big debut. Oh, exciting. Yeah, sorry. This is what it is. But no, I get what you mean though. Just to return to the like heat thing, like it. I lived in Vegas for like a year, and it hit like 115 there like a couple of times, and it was like you don't have to be out very long, but it just saps your strength. You're just like, I'm fucking dead. Like, it's awful.
Definitely. You just feel like this is so wrong.
Yeah.
Like, this is wrong. Humans are not supposed to function in this.
I mean, like, the saving grace, at least for, but like you said, it was like, because it's like a desert, like the temperature drop is significant at night. And I mean, that's kind of the thing I love about Reno is that it's like, most of the time you still can probably get away with like having a hoodie on you, maybe just because once the sun goes down, like it's going to cool off and the breeze is going to kick up. Coming over the Sierras and shit. Not to get all like, oh, let's talk about meteorology. Let's get back to baby corn. But like, it's fine.
No, just like I listened to your podcast with Health.
Yeah.
And I like how you had a little Reno showcase on that one too. So you're just like they should just like give you the keys to the city at this point.
Right? That's what I think.
Yeah, they should. You'll never have to work again.
Yeah. I went to the point and I was like, and I talked to the owners and I was like, hey, I mentioned you on my podcast. And they were like, they were elated. They were super humbled. So yeah, it was like, but thanks. I'm glad people heard it with their ears.
Yeah.
Everything I put out.
I listen to your podcast.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're just waiting to hear yourself get mentioned.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. I'm just like a diehard narcissist, and I'm just like, oh, is Morris Black gonna mention me? Like, who's next?
You're like,
I'm just like over here, like a little golem, just like waiting for my name.
It's, I mean, that's what I do. It's like, except it was with the mechanismus photos. I was like, oh, where am I? Oh, where's Brian? Oh, where am I? Oh, I see myself. There's all these like giant heads, but none of them are mine. Like, it was exciting. I was like trying to playing Where's Waldo with your own corporeal form.
Wow.
Corporeal form.
What's now the corporeal?
You know what that's like, having a look at your own corporeal form. It's not great.
Yeah, it's horrible. Tell me about it.
Oh, it's the fucking worst. But it's funny though that like there's this sort of, at least like the vibe from like the health sort of episode, and was that it was like, I mean, they were almost sort of trying to like name drop as many people as they could as well, just because it was like, I don't know, it fit with the whole theme of the festival, which was that whole sense of like, we're all in this shit together, and if we all like it, and if we all love it, and we all want it to be good and happy and inclusive, then, you know, spread the love sort of a thing. And like, it was infectious. It was in every single person. I saw it in Jamie when he was eating his salad. He was just like, man, I just love everybody right now. I saw it.
He was like, I just love salad.
Yeah, he was like,
oh, Sam, you have no idea how much I love that salad. It was only 4 days in, but I was like, just give me anything that's green.
Yeah, for sure.
So tasty. I think I fed Brian an onion at that point.
That's possible. That's possible. With your fingers.
It was
Brian. It was very gentle. It was very.
Man, I sure missed out on an event.
You did.
Oh, that was.
I'm not even talking about mechanismus. I'm talking about that salad.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I mean, you know, maybe in the future,
very homoerogenous.
Maybe in the future, Jamie will have me on his stream, and you know, you might get a chance to watch me feed him onions while he covers himself with baby corn.
Yeah, or maybe I'll just actually go out in public for first time. Experience it firsthand.
Right. I mean, we could also. I mean, that's an idea, but. Back to the baby corn and feeding onions. I mean, there's probably room for what was that fucking stupid idea I told you about, like dressing up feet in like different outfits, fancy feet or some shit.
Forgot. Yes.
Oh my god.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, because I just half jokingly said that I was going to start selling feet pics, and then you're like. Suggest that I make costumes from my toes.
I'm sorry. I'm such a burden. I just like, I have these stupid ideas and I just have to share them.
That's some like cash cow idea right there.
Like you make a little dress for your foot and then
or like fancy. I could make the same costume that I make for myself, but in miniature just for my toes. Like imagine like Renaissance princess toes.
No.
I definitely want to imagine Renaissance princess toes. I didn't know I did until you said it. But now I definitely do.
Yep.
Do you have particularly nice feet?
I mean, they're not awful.
I feel like when...
I think I have cute toes. Not gonna lie. They're all like, you know, there's nothing that stands out as being offensive about them. They're good. I feel like they can make some money.
I feel like when people pay for pictures of feet, they've got to be one end of the scale. They've either got to be like really delicious feet, or really like gross, like troll feet, troll wolf feet. You know?
Yeah.
Where in the middle, you're not really gonna. What's your shtick with your feet? You know, it's got to be.
It's got to be the fancy feet. It's got to be the costumes. It'll help.
Yeah.
It'll help you just stand out. Those toes will pop. It'll be.
Yeah. I just like wonder if I got out of ballet too soon or not soon enough. You know, like it should have just gone all the way and gone for like mangled dancer feet.
Oh.
You know, like I'm sure that would make a lot of money.
Oh, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that would pay good money for really mangled feet.
Oh man, if somebody wants to see big, gross, hairy fucking feet, I'm selling them for whatever anybody's buying it for. Just fucking let me know. I will.
You heard it here.
Maybe you could do like a stream of feet fighting. So like you've got like Sam's really delicate, pristine feet, and then against the red corner with Brian's like troll hooves. Like it's like 3, 2, 1, fight. And
It's
like
like instead of Street Fighter, it's Feet Fighter.
I can't.
Feet Fighter in the same font.
Yes, Feet Fighter.
Feet Fighter is wonderful, but I can't participate because I am uninsured and I have very small, dainty ankles, and I can't risk an injury. Like, if something happens to my feet are fucking huge. They're like boats, but like attached to that, they're attached via this very weak hinge.
There's no insurance.
Weak Hinge. Weak Hinge is such a great name for a post-hardcore band.
But, you know.
We are Weak Hinge!
I mean, I'm full of these ideas. I can't help it. But I got weak little dainty dancer's ankles. I can't risk it. Like, you've seen me. I'm fucking huge. Like, I can't risk busting this shit.
So you'd be quite easy to topple over should I ever feel the urge.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Great.
Let's go for those weak hinges.
Yeah. Hit him in his weak hinges.
Yeah, forget the Achilles heel. It's the weak hinge.
It's the weak hinge. I want to see now. I really want to teach like the Greek classics and be like, and then Achilles, they hit him right in his fucking weak hinges and fucked him up. Wonderful.
They didn't dip him sorely enough.
Yeah. Well, just to sort of, I guess, pull this back onto, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Is there a path?
Yeah. What do you got going on next, Jamie?
So I'm going to Latvia on the 12th. That's the 12th next month, August, and that'll be the second time in 3 months, which is really cool. But it's odd because like before the Big Metal Festival a couple of months ago, it was like 10 years since visiting Latvia. So it's it's a fortuitous couple of events, and they both happen to be just really like obscure odd events to be booked for, I guess, or more obscure than the usual. You know, like 9 out of 10 festivals I'll play would be, this exactly the same face as each one.
Right.
So it's really nice, and also nerve-wracking in a good way. Like, it forces me to not rely on my reputation as much, maybe subconsciously. I think my confidence on stage usually is reliant on subconscious reputation. Like, I feel good, I feel strong, and I feel like I can handle it. But I think it's good to be thrown out into the wilderness a bit, where you know that 90% of the people out there don't even know who you are. It's a really odd feeling. It's like when I was in Latvia the first time this year for the metal festival, I'd walked out straight after Magla, who are a really big Polish black metal band. And like, I knew that, in front of me would be a lot of people who have no idea who I am and might even think it's dance music. So yeah, the first probably 2 songs I was just kind of like working the crowd out and judging them because I knew they were judging me, kind of thing. So not sure, I went really off the track there, but yeah, that's next. Keep myself busy other than that, but I think 2022 is about as many live shows as possible, really. Right. I'm just trying to make sure that every single live show is unique. Right. Like, I'm putting a lot of effort into the visuals and a lot of effort into the set lists, and even down to, of little novelties that I'm trying to bring out for each show. So if people do unfortunate enough to go to 2 shows in a row, they're not going to see the same thing, and there's going to be something else going on. So yeah, that's my 2022 really. There's other little things going about. There's little collabs and remixes and stuff that have been on the list for a while. But I really want to keep this as much of a live year as possible. I mean, the last 2 weeks it's just been a bit of I don't even know if you can call it a tour. It was only 6 shows in total, but we still managed to travel around. Still, I worked out how many thousands of miles. It was a lot of miles.
Yeah,
in America, and it's weird coming back from that. Like, you're used to, a chaotic lifestyle, a bit of a whirlwind for 2.5 weeks, and then coming back to like just not having to really go anywhere
Right.
it's a bit of a head trip. But I think I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah. I mean, it's been weird for me coming back from the festival just because I'm like, oh, what's real life again? But your little side detour there, I think what was compelling and interesting about it was just that it was like, the idea of suddenly your reputation doesn't, playing in a situation where you're the outsider,
Yeah.
and having to experience that sort of again for the first time in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit can be scary, like super, super scary. So
It's good and it's bad because it doesn't. Sometimes if you automatically know that you have the crowd on your side, and you know that, let's say 70% of the crowd is there not just because they're hanging around, but because they really want to see you. That gives you an automatic confidence boost. The more confident you are, the better you will play. The more organically you will play, the more freedom you will feel, and the better show that you will give. I think there is something to be said about going back to school and kind of being like, I don't want to use the word humbled, but like having that crutch taken away and knowing you're going to have to really fucking work for it. Like this isn't a given. Like even if you have a bad show, sometimes at festivals, people are like, well, we just want to see you, we don't care. But, you really have to work for it at a show where people don't really know who you are. And I'm playing last again on the Friday. There's like 5 stages, and I have to give these people a reason to come to my stage. And I'm the last guy. People are going to be tired. So yeah, it becomes like a little bit of it's almost like going into war. And I know that's really dramatic, but like beforehand, when it comes to a show like this, I'm like, I've been brought over here. It's my job to really do a good job. It's almost like kind of going into war a little bit. Like I never really understand the bands that just don't really give a shit and they just go up there and they paint by numbers. Every show I will take myself away for 20 minutes before and I can't speak to anybody, and that's because I'm preparing to create this fucking bounty of energy.
right.
But even more so when it's a crowd I've got to basically turn around.
Sure.
So yeah.
That makes sense. And I mean, it must be exhilarating at the same time when you do get a positive response. But I don't want to like go down that hole too much because, like, Sam, I have to put you on blast for a second. Like the fucking, like, when are we gonna like hit us with a new single, man? Like that Tempest video is ready. Like I'm ready to hear it. Like it's fucking the new stuff you're working on is. I mean, this is a hard left turn, but like I just like I'm ready to hear some new BARA. So
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I've been definitely feeling that pressure this year.
Here's a
and
little
I
bit
know
more.
that I mean, it's like I've been trying to wrestle with like what the right thing to do is because,
Sure.
like I said, things haven't really gone according to plan. Like I was planning on starting to release those singles in like March, but I'm very DIY. I can't really put like a time limit on when the mixes are going to be done because it's all done in house. Same with like mastering. I didn't know how I was gonna release it. If I was gonna, stay on my label, go independent. If I'm gonna release it on vinyl, like all these things had to be taken into consideration. All while like struggling, like candidly struggling a lot with my mental health this year and wondering if I even wanted to pursue this anymore.
Sure.
So that I took just like kind of a hiatus. I just didn't want to think about it at all. I just wanted to like get through my day and not have to worry about like when am I gonna drop a single. And yeah, so like it's been I'm definitely putting like all of my energy into finishing everything in the next couple months. I'm doing a photo shoot for the album art next month. I'm also shooting the 3rd music video on September 3rd. So my plan is like just to have all the music videos ready to go. Because as you know, I sew all the costumes, I direct the video, I edit the video, I have to scout the locations, I have to like coordinate with. It's a lot of work.
It is.
And on top of like having a day job and then like, just struggling every day to kind of just like get through this weird time that we're living in. It's just like it's coming. So it's like my plan is I'm probably gonna start releasing singles in October, and then release the record in January or February.
Sorry, Sam, I don't mean to interrupt you. You cut out for just a second. What month did you say?
I'm probably gonna release the first single in October.
October. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then like every couple weeks, 1, 2, 3, and then announce the release date, the record, and yeah, like that's what's gonna happen. And I do definitely feel that pressure of like people, especially when you're starting out and you're kind of like not a very well-known artist, you kind of just have to be making stuff and collaborating, and it just hasn't happened that way for me. So I'm just kind of accepting it. Like, it's why give myself more stress by like trying to beg people to collaborate with me or like do, stuff like that. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm just getting it done when it gets done. And I hope people like it when it comes out.
I mean, I've seen what you're working on, and I think that based on what I've heard and what you've shared with me, I think this is your strongest work so far. So I'm super excited to see what the rest of the album holds and what you end up doing with it. And I don't mean to apply extra pressure to you, but I mean it's just I don't know. I think it'll be great. It'll be splendid.
Yeah, I know. I didn't take it as like extra pressure. It's just like definitely something
because I'm
that
good
I thought
at that.
about. No, I just like I think about that a lot, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I had to just like take a break from anything music related at all this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I made the decision to like get on TikTok and try to do promotion that way, and it seemed to be working for a little while. Like I did get like more Spotify streams and like YouTube views and stuff because I was just like making videos every day, and it drained me. Like it drained me so hard because it's like not only I personally don't like it, and it might not seem that way from like my social media, but I don't like being in front of a camera. I don't like it. Like it's kind of this weird phenomenon where it's like it feels like Narcissus at the stream, it's like we're constantly just like falling into our own reflection and obsessing over it, and like it's not natural to have to be looking at your like the progression of your aging on a daily basis, or it's just like fucking weird. I don't know, so it like sends me into like essential. But yeah, like I was doing that, and it just like drained me because I felt like I was just constantly trying to appeal to this algorithm, like, please, daddy, let me be seen by people that will like me. And yeah, like it's just, I don't know, sometimes I wonder like is it worth like all the mental stress, because as you know, like the music industry has never been ideal, but it's definitely changed a lot, and it is very much based on you at not like it doesn't really fucking matter what you make. It's just who you are. Do people like you as a product? Do they like you as a cartoon character? Like that's basically what it feels like, and I don't think I have the kind of personality that is conducive to such a thing.
Sure.
So of course it like sets you off and starts to like make you compare yourself to other people that are more successful. And then I'm like, why am I comparing myself to somebody who's successful on TikTok? Like all these people feel so homogenized at this point because they're all following the same kind of formula of like, hey guys, check out my music. Like it's just, I don't know. So I just stopped kind of caring. I still post occasionally, but so I just decided that I'm gonna say fuck it to like all the things that I should be doing, and just have to constantly remind myself that this is an project, and that is all that it should be. If people like it and if people find me, that's fucking cool, but I don't want to stop loving it. So it is what it is, and I'll make stuff when it happens, and hopefully things work out. But right now I'm just gonna look at it like I want to still like what I'm making, and I don't want to make it because I feel like I have to.
Right.
I think that's a really, really healthy decision. And I don't know about Brian, but everything that you just said, I completely resonate with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And there's a big difference between everybody has always been marketed. There's a huge difference between now and, let's say, 40, 50 years ago, because there was a record label doing that for you. They were marketing you for you. And now you are the person marketing yourself because you have to. There is a massive difference in integrity there. The audience knew 4 years ago that it's a record label powerhouse machine that is doing that for you.
Yeah.
And whatever compromising position, even if they make bad decisions and you're made to look like an idiot, there is some there's a scapegoat there, and that's the record label. It's their decision. But now you are in complete control of your own image, and unfortunately that image has to fall in line with the expectations of the current consumer, and that current consumer's needs has been shaped by the algorithm. And I'm not sure if it's the same all over the world. I think it's probably not the same in Asia, but I think that algorithm has sculpted and molded this prerequisite of what you are if you are to be liked as an artist by the public. And there's a massive lack of integrity when you feel you have to then mold yourself to what that particular character is. So I resonate really with what you're saying, and you should not feel alone, and you should make the decisions that feel healthy for you, and make it so you still love the product and who you are. If you start disliking who you are or giving in to the world, then that's trouble.
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the word you said there is character. That's like the operative word there, because it truly is that. And as you and I know, we both like theatrical things. We love movies. We love, like, a good presentation, but it's done within the moment. Like, it's not, I don't look like, whatever, Renaissance princess on a daily basis. Like, I don't. I work a lot. Like, I'm not going to be putting on, like, pounds of makeup and, like, wearing these, like, crazy dresses or whatever. I don't do that every day. And it's like, it feels like now when you have to be, like, constantly marketing yourself on a daily basis, you have to put the effort to put on the costume every day and present this, like, idyllic world that people want to be a part of. And that's, like, half of the draw of you as a musician. It's like not even the music that you make. It's just like the world that you offer the people that are watching you. And it's okay. Like, I'm guilty of liking certain bands. Like imagine Slipknot without their masks. It wouldn't be the same experience. Or like Rammstein without the pyrotechnics on stage or whatever. Like, it works, but it works in that moment. Like, it doesn't work if you're trying to present as if that's just how you are every day.
Right.
Because we're human beings, not avatars.
And it's sorry, go ahead, Jim.
We're human beings, we're not avatars.
Exactly. Right. And that's why we make this art, because it's an escape from our everyday. It's like, if we lived that way every day, what would be the purpose of putting all the effort into this, this art that we make? So I don't know. It's like a really bizarre, really, like, existential. Maybe I think too much about it. Like, I think that's the thing, is like, maybe I just, like, put way too much thought into it, and it should just be more casual. But I don't know. That's where my mind, where I think about having to quote unquote market myself, and, like, it's also, I feel like, a way to kind of pigeonhole people into staying a certain way forever. Like, if you're known for being, like, the dramatic goth girl, then you always have to be that. And when it's like, normal human beings go through phases, we change, like, we're a different person at different points of our life. And so I feel like when you get pigeonholed into being this character, you're not allowed to stray from that path. Otherwise, people are not interested anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that it's something that you touched upon there that I think is key. And Tom is missing from this conversation just because he opted out, didn't have anything going on. But something he had said to me once upon a time was that, like, just sort of on the note of having to be the person who you have to brand yourself. And as somebody who's always struggled with extreme self-loathing, like you, Sam, like I don't like looking at myself at all. I barely like having to edit my own episodes because I don't want to hear my own voice. So I get you there, and but that sort of ties back around to like when it comes to self-marketing and promoting, that kind of a thing. Like if you choose a gimmick that is, say, a mask, like you were tied to that for a period of time that you will eventually have to maybe transition away from, or else you're stuck with it forever. So, just in terms of when you're talking about your own brand as a musician, you are sort of like having to craft a narrative to go with it, just to try and make it compelling enough to stand out against everything else that's being sort of made. And I was really tempted to try and do some TikTok shit at one point too. And I mean, dude, hats off to anybody who can do it and be successful at it and sustain it, because I don't have
it's a skill.
I don't have what it takes for at all. But it strikes me almost as like TikTok and that sort of a thing, that short kind of it's almost like street performance. In a way, like you're out there every day, like busting your ass, like, but it's like a digital street corner.
Definitely, you are digitally busking.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean, because it's like you're sort of, it's hard because you have to like, similar to you, like I don't know how to monetize this, because if I can't run ads, because then I can't have my guest music on the show. So there's no money there. So it's like I have to try and come up with alternatives to sort of like, how do I supplement this dream? How do I supplement this thing I'm trying to make a job? And it's a passion project, but it's, you have to love it. Like at the end of the day, I have to be happy with it, because when I'm not, I don't want to do it. The moment it starts to feel like a burden or something that I have to do, I don't want it. I have to want it, I guess.
Absolutely. I guess it's just like about prioritizing and also just being realistic, which is something that a lot of artists have a time being, because we're just like constantly dreaming about this idyllic version. But yeah, like it's kind of, for me, it's like, well, do I, put all of my effort into like doing TikTok and figuring out how to monetize like this project and eventually grow to resent it and therefore maybe myself, or do I, have a quote unquote real life grown up job and then do this on the side and hope for the best. So it's just like trying to find that balance. And one of my friends went viral on TikTok 2 years ago, and now she's going on, like, she's right now in the middle of a gigantic tour with Coheed and Cambria and Alkaline Tree. So it's like, it can work for some people, but she definitely busted her ass trying to get it.
Yeah, it's a friend of mine, Matt, who helped me and helped encourage me to continue doing this podcast, was like, he's like, you have to put sparks everywhere, so to speak, because you never would know where a fire is going to catch.
Absolutely.
So, and that has been my experience. I'll, suddenly, things are unexpected. Life is strange that way, but yeah, I feel you there. It's having I don't know. It's a ton of fucking work, but
yeah.
Anyway, Jamie, what do you got? What are your thoughts?
I think it is a ton of work. I think it just comes more naturally to some people than it does to others, and I think it's a generational thing. I'm not sure how old you are, Sam. I think you're definitely younger than me, but yeah, I think for people of our rough generation, I think it's a bit weirder of a concept to be throwing yourself in front of you know, a weird situation like TikTok. I think it's more feels more natural to the younger generation. And I think personality type is also important, and I definitely don't want to generalize or be too blunt here, but I think if you are somebody who has narcissistic parts of your personality or sociopathy, I think doing something like TikTok is much easier and it comes much more natural than people who don't think in that pattern and do see themselves with all their flaws and do have a lot of empathy or a moral compass. And I might be slandered for saying that, but I just think generationally, and I think personality probably makes it easier for some people to do that kind of self-brand marketing than other people.
Yeah, and then like people assume that because you perform on stage that it's easy for you to perform in front of a camera, but I'm sure you probably feel the same way, Jamie. Like it's a lot different when you're on stage because you're feeding off of the audience's energy. Like you're feeding off of their reaction and you give them more, you know, like it's very much like this like give and take relationship.
Well, it's real.
And it's like
real.
motivating.
Yeah, I mean, what we're talking about is not real. TikTok videos are not real. There's nothing real about it. It's a lie. It's a fraud. The whole thing is a mirage. Everything about it is a mirage. The whole concept of modern self-branding is just bullshit. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
When you get up on stage, that's real. There's nothing about it that's fake other than, you know, if you are literally playing to a backing track and doing goth karaoke.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else is real. It's a physical situation. It's physical and it's mental. It's, you know, someone has booked you to be there. You are designed to be there. You know, there were people working around you to make sure the show goes well. The crowd is there to see you. The you know, the tracks you're playing are the ones you want to play to them. You know, there's so many different parts to the fabric that make it a real situation. So yes, of course, the performance is real, but there's nothing about self-branding, or especially the world of TikTok, that is real. I can tell you without any kind of hesitation, as soon as that camera goes off, that person is a different person.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's okay. Yeah. Well, that's
really weird being present when you're watching people film them too. You're just you watch the transition and it's fucking scary.
Oh, it's just gross. Honestly, it's sickening to see that kind of stuff.
It is pretty creepy. It's like watching, like the mask comes off, and it's very strange.
And this is why I think that people with narcissistic parts of the personality and sociopathy can deal with that so well, because a lot of the time they're doing that anyway.
Yeah, they're doing it in real life. And, you know, I try not to judge too hard depending on what your goal is, because I think that that's also very important, because I know that a lot of people just want attention and fame for doing nothing. They're just for like existing or being beautiful or whatever. But I don't know. I think I judge a little bit less harshly when it is like, because it is true, like trying to stand out, especially right now with everyone just like being able to upload their music onto Spotify or YouTube or whatever, it is becoming increasingly hard to stand out. Everyone's just screaming at the same time. And so it's like, I guess I do applaud people for trying really hard at working towards what they want, because it is just, it's like soul crushing, but they don't give up. And so it's, you know, you just have to try. You just have to try everything. But, you know, that's just what it comes down to. So, but it definitely takes a certain type of person to be able to be consistent with being like playing the character, marketing themselves, you know, trying to just work the system. It's really nauseating. I'm very sensitive, so it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I'm sensitive as fuck. I'm not
sensitive AF. Yeah. I got bullied on there. So many times, and I was just like, fuck, I can't handle it. No. I laugh at it first, and then later I'm like, they're right. Somebody told me that I looked like that I was a how do I put it? I was a man.
What?
Yeah. And then somebody said that like no amount of plastic surgery could save me.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, dude, it was so mean. And I'm like,
oh, dude, that's just incels. That's gotta be guys that.
Or somebody else was like, "Too bad this music sucks ass," and I was just,
wow.
like I can handle that kind of stuff a little bit better, but like when people are just like unnecessarily mean about somebody's appearance just for like existing, it's just like, why?
Yeah.
Do you feel better now about yourself?
Make you feel that way. That literally the only reason they would comment on that is because they feel so negative about themselves. They want to just throw that negative at anybody else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know that. You know there's no truth in what they're saying. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, it is definitely like, I think you're kind of lying to your, like, if you say that it doesn't affect you, you know what I mean? Like, it affects you a little bit. Like, it's human nature. Like, even if you know they're wrong, it's still like, well, somebody out there thinks that I'm fucking uglier than their grandmother's feet, you know? Like, it's like, it's still kind of just like a little jarring just for like trying to do your own thing, and then somebody just has to come out and be like, fuck you, hope you die.
Oh, it's stupid as fuck. And like, but I mean, and it's like, I wish I could let it go. But I mean, honestly, like, I remember mean shit people said about me when I was like 13 years old. It's like, I fucking wish I did not. Like, I've got better fucking things to do with my brain storage. But it's like, you know, shitty people leave marks.
Did anybody know a website called isanyoneUp.com?
IsanyoneUp.com? Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, I've never.
So there was a documentary on Netflix about it I watched a couple of days ago. And what you're saying, Sam, is like, you know, it just shows, it's just another representation of just hateful men. And like, Netflix documentary, I mean, if you know what the website is, then that's fine. But it's basically a revenge porn website that was active in the 90s where guys would just like take pictures of they would upload pictures of their ex-girlfriends or whatever. But it came to there was a hacking situation, and you know the actual company were employing people to hack into people's emails to get like naked pictures.
Wow.
But that wasn't the really surprising thing about it. The really surprising thing about it, or the really despairing thing about it, was this website was just an outlet for men that were so angry at not having a girlfriend or not attractive enough to attract somebody who they would want to just go on the platform and just hurl venomous, nasty, you know, just pure evil about girls' appearances. And they're out there. These dudes are out there.
Yeah, those incels.
Yeah.
For sure.
A friend of mine pointed it out to me not that long ago. Shout out Logmail, love that guy. But he was like, you know, we've entered an age where like men have to be likable and and like, you know, be complete human beings. It's no longer enough just to be male. You have to, you know, be good deep down, I guess. And there's a lot of fucking rotten apples. And now we have, you know, thanks to globalization, now all the rotten apples can be seen, but all those rotten apples can also assemble into their own little bunches.
So bad.
Which is fucking horrible. But I see that has convinced me to definitely stay off TikTok because I'm way too sensitive. Like I barely fucking no thanks.
Yeah, but you know, like I've gotten way worse shit on like Instagram.
Oh really? I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's fine. Like I'm actually pretty lucky. I haven't gotten as much hate online as I've gotten in. So I mean, I guess it's fine. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I've been pretty lucky at not getting too much internet bullying. But it still exists. And the thing about it is like, you don't see it coming, you know, like it's different than like when you're in middle school, you have that, you know, you see them, you know, coming down the hallway and you know what to expect. But it's just really weird when you upload something that you put a lot of work into and then it comes at you with wow, you're so unfuckable. Like, go get a facelift, you know? With like Jesus. No one asked.
Wow.
So there's two things going on in my mind, right, when you're saying this. The first thing is, just why even say it? But then my primitive chimp brain is going, yeah, she totally is. Why are you even saying that? So I'm like, from both sides, this is absolutely bullshit. I mean, the fact that someone would say that just shows that they are trying to be negative for no reason, because you are an attractive, classy, intelligent person. So because the insult holds no truth, it shows you their actual design, and their actual design that is just to make you feel like shit.
Yeah, being a woman in the arts is it's so fun and games.
Yeah. Well, plus I think anybody who goes out of their way to like leave shitty comments and stuff like that, like about people, most of the time they're talking about themselves.
Yeah, they're usually telling you things that they could never tell their abusive parents or something,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did want to circle back to that you had kind of touched upon a little bit that that I'm guilty of doing as well, and I think is just sort of worth commenting on a little bit, especially while Jamie is here to sort of, I want to hear your thoughts on it as well. Just Theodore Roosevelt said that comparison is the thief of joy. And you had talked about, seeing other people marketing themselves and the way that, things that they're doing. I have to kind of keep blinders on a little bit, just because, like, if I see somebody else doing something different, I start to be like, oh, maybe I should be doing that. Maybe I should be. And, I suffer from that, having the joy and the passion and the confidence in what I'm making sort of stolen away from me. Right. And I think that as artists, I think a tremendous amount of people feel that. And we're constantly being bombarded because of social media, because we're all trying to promote ourselves. We're being bombarded with other people inside our space who are just as passionate, just as driven, that, maybe they have jobs or maybe they don't. Maybe they have been successful enough to have the time to put extra effort into it, so on and so forth. As artists who are being constantly bombarded with your peers, what have you done, or what have you found to be effective in staying on your own path?
Is that directed at me or
sure
at Jamie?
Yeah, we'll start with you.
I've been trying to figure out how to find a balance, because I do like to be supportive of my peers, but I noticed that when I start to like pay attention to groups or like scroll on Instagram too much, I start to do that. And so like I've honestly kind of tuned out. Makes me feel really bad. Like, if you are my friend and you have put out music in the last few months, please message me about it, because I probably didn't see that you announced it. Because that's kind of just how I have to mitigate it. Like, I have to shut it off and just ignore it, because then I'll be like, oh, so and so is at my shows and I'm not. Or they did such a cooler video. Their mastering sounds better. Like some dumb shit that doesn't matter. It's just like I find ways to set myself to other people. So that's kind of it comes down to. Like, I just have to focus more on trying to cultivate interpersonal relationships with my peers, and if they have new stuff that they want me to be aware of, we kind of just have to tell me about it, because I can't really handle the like messy what do you call it, like message board of the internet right now.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's how I've been trying.
That's fair. And I try and do the same thing as much as I can. Like, I appreciate that other people are making podcasts, but the moment that I'm like, man, look at their professional setup with like their fancy mic, and listen to their sound quality, it's so good. I'm just always like, all right, well, what the fuck am I doing? But I have had to do similar. I've had to sort of pull myself back from social media a lot, just because it becomes too much. It's just, it's a flood.
Yeah, for sure. And you also, like what Jamie said earlier, you don't know what's going on when the camera is not on.
Right.
You don't know how much money they put into making something look that good, or like if they bought onto a tour, or like no one talks about that. They just announce the good thing. So that's another thing that I have to keep in mind. It's like it just feels like the Wizard of Oz all the time. Like you don't see what's behind the curtain.
Right.
And so like that's what it comes down to. Like there's no point in me beating myself up because somebody's doing better than me, but maybe they have, you know, more income or they have a better connection. They've been doing it longer. Fucking XYZ.
Absolutely. And I mean, like you said, you never know what is going on behind the scenes. Like everybody has their own narrative. But Jamie, what about you? I mean, you're, you know, you've been making art for a long time. And you've been putting out records for a long time. Like, what have you found to be effective in just sort of staying true to what you want your music and your art to be?
I mean, it's a very similar answer, really, to what Sam's saying. I mean, I have my goals that I need to achieve. I have my jobs that I need to do. I have a very kind of like strict, you know, deadline situation, which I'll set up, you know, in weekly increments. I'll be like, okay, you know, I'm going to get up at 7. I'm going to be working on this today, and then tomorrow I'll be working on that. So I already have it in my head, all the plans that I need to, all the goals that I need to achieve. So social media time is usually very limited, and when it is, it's just recreational. It's certainly not kind of like checking out what band's doing what and, you know, what tours are going on and things like that, because it's just information overload, which will conflict with all the information that's already going on in my head. So very much with regards to my peers, I mean, I stay in contact a lot with all my peers, and we speak, you know, over message or video call and stuff like that, or, you know, audio call. So I keep in contact with my peers that way, to find out what's going on. But with regards to, I mean, a lot of people would say that, you know, using social media as a research tool to learn, you know, to borrow ideas and take tips from what other people are doing is a great thing. But without sounding too pretentious, I mean, I'm pretty much established. You know, I've been doing this for 17 years. I don't really feel, you know, things change all the time, of course, but I already know what my path is, and I don't really feel the need to kind of research what other people are doing to kind of mold what I want to do.
Sure. No.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good answer. That's fine.
Thank you. That's fine.
Yeah.
I know you seek my approval, so I wanted to make sure that you know.
We are having fun.
Oh, we are. This is fun. Oh, did you listen to the health episode yet?
I'm really sorry, dude. Really sorry.
No, it's fine. No. I'm not offended at all. But I asked because
this call is over.
Yeah. Oh, gotta go. Jamie's gotta go. Oh, whoa. What happened? He got disconnected, everybody. No, at the end of the episode, BJ Miller was all like, this was fun. And I was like, this is fun. I was so ecstatic. I was like, I tell everybody this is fun. And
we are having fun.
It's so fun. Well,
he also talked about how coffee makes him shit for like 20 minutes. So that was.
Oh, it does me too. Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like
it's pretty deep.
That was basically like half the podcast. It's just, you know, him and John being like, yeah, coffee makes me shit. I love drinking it.
I mean, look, this is high art. All right. It
is high art. It's high.
This is what we got. All right. I don't know if you get it, but it's, you know, it's pretty highbrow. I
was going to say highbrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Podcast is directed by A24.
That's right.
It's a very moody intro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which, by the way, I finally got around to watching X last night.
Oh my God, it's so
X. Good. How was it? I didn't see it yet.
It was really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Did you watch it, Brian?
Yes. Oh my God, it was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, and now we get a prequel. I mean,
I know.
Amazing.
I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
And like it paid homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre in all the right ways without. But like every time I felt like I knew what the story beat was going to be, like it was different.
That's A24 though, isn't it? That's the one thing that that's a similar thread for all the films. It's always a story that you haven't quite seen or heard.
Yeah.
And that is what stories should be. I'm so tired of films where it's like, you already know the beginning, you know the ending, you know what the ending's going to be, you're just going to see this stuff that happens in the middle. Like, it's the journey. Like, films need to be like a story that you're like, what the fuck's happening now? What's going to happen now? And that's the way stories used to be, you know? You didn't know what was going to happen in the end.
Yeah, and everyone consumes media in a different way. Some people just want to be entertained, but like, I'm definitely a self-proclaimed film snob, I guess. Like, I'm really picky about what I call a good movie because I consume it in the same way. Like, I want to be told a story, and I don't want to know the beginning and the ending, and I don't want to know and expect everything that's going to happen in between. And I don't want to see like 6,000 Star Wars movies or anything. Like, I like new stories.
Yeah. No, I want a film I want to be thinking about it the next day and be like, it left an impression, which X definitely did. And then I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once pretty recently.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh,
wow.
So beautiful. So wonderful. Like, absurd.
So that is a film that you never know what's going to happen. Like, literally second to second, you're like, what the hell is happening now?
Yeah, I might watch that tonight. So
brilliant.
Like, I will do that.
Have tissues. Like,
Yeah, that's why I put it off.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I do not want to cry for like 3 hours.
It was such a strange experience for me to be like laughing and then crying and then like alternating between the two so frequently that by the time the credits roll, like, I felt it was such an experience. And the soundtrack is so wildly bombastic. It's done by Sunlux, who they'd done like some remixes and stuff. I kind of knew who they were a little bit. And man, everything about the film is just absurd and beautiful and spontaneous and wonderful.
So I must be. You're the third person to say that they cried that film. I think I must have real empathy issues because I didn't feel sad at any point in that film. I was just thinking the whole way through it, this is insane, and this editing is insane. This must have taken like weeks to do this 5-second edit. Like, I didn't feel emotional at all, other than quite excited. So maybe I've got an issue there. But
maybe
each one of us is a sociopath.
Yeah. Are you faking your emotions again, Brian?
Oops! Oh, somebody's on to me.
He's getting the tissue out, is he? Oh,
how well scripted.
Everybody that has seen that has recommended it, has said they cried. So
it's me then.
Yeah, I'll probably be that bitch.
Even fucking Morris Black was like, yeah, it was. I laughed, I cried, I loved it. Like, I was like, cool. I was ready for that. Maybe, Jamie, it's because you watched it through the lens of an auteur instead of as a human.
That's the video editor. Probably.
Yeah, like,
I cannot relate to any of the human issues going on in this film because all I'm thinking about is the warping that they used on that one clip 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're like still hung up on it. You're like, wait, that shot? Oh, wow, amazing. So
I'd be interested to know when they started filming that, because that feels like a film that's probably taken about 8 years to make.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to find out when they actually started pre-production on that, because some of the editing is just insane.
Yeah, the editing's amazing. There's also this great story about humans in it. Did you catch that?
I don't think he likes those.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You are right.
That's probably why.
That's probably what
I have like 6 people that I like.
That's
same
fair.
though.
Yeah, same. What about you, Jamie? What, you watched a good movie lately that you want to recommend, or?
Oh, did I? I watched a film called War Dogs for the first time a couple of days ago, and that was interesting.
War Dogs.
It's like a comedy from like 2016, and it had I'm terrible with actors' names, but it was like a couple of guys that
I got you.
Yeah, a couple of guys that would do like gun running and like it sounds ridiculous. I'm explaining it really badly, but it was quite an interesting comedy. Don't watch it. It's shit. Just forget everything.
It's got Jonah Hill on it. Okay.
Just forget.
Okay.
Oh, it's got Jonah Hill. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's good in this. It was better than I thought it was gonna. Yeah.
That wasn't like Jonah Hill.
You're so good at selling it, Jamie. You're like, there's these beings. And
I am not a salesperson.
Some comedic things happen. There's some shooting. Some people pretend to get shot, and then there's some. I am
way too Yorkshire to be a salesperson. I have no selling in me, trust me.
Yeah,
but it was good. It was worth a watch, and I'm looking forward to Nope, which is going to be out in maybe 12 days here. So
it's already out here, but it's only in theaters. So.
Yeah,
that requires going outside.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I really want to see it, and I told myself I was going to try to this past week, but I just, I just didn't want to go, and
I'll see it when I see it.
I'm just getting over some kind of an illness, and I just not only do I not want to risk getting sick again, like I don't want to go sit in a theater with people, and like maybe. I smoke a lot of weed. Like maybe I'll definitely smoke before I go in the theater. I don't want to like be coughing and like.
Yeah, and now there's the added bonus of monkeypox. I mean, like it's just put that on your bingo card now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Sammy, are you still working? Don't you do dance performance as well at clubs?
I do, but I had to dip out of the last one that I was supposed to be in because of COVID, and it turns out that somebody on the crew had it. So fucking cool. Good thing I didn't go. So it's just a really, really stupid time for anything right now, performing arts, because any normal person would be like, oh, whatever. If I get COVID, it's fucking whatever. I'm vaccinated. But, like I have a very fat medical history. That doesn't stop. So it's just like I've dealt with being chronically ill, not to get too like dour or whatever, but like pretty much like my whole adult life. I don't want to risk having even more chronic issues because of COVID or like anything like that. So I've been taking this pandemic extremely seriously, and it's like getting to the point where it's just positively exhausting because I do love performing. Like I want to be on stage. I want to go to shows. I want to just like be out there and do stuff. But which is one of the biggest reasons, as you know, that we didn't get to meet up. Because it's just like I gotta take every precaution possible.
Yeah. I was basically 2.5 weeks surrounded by other people in a different. It's just not worth the risk.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it seems like he turned out to be fine the whole time, but so
there will be a time. There will be an opportunity.
There will be a time. Yeah, we'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, I'll set it up. Just don't worry about it. Like I'll just schedule the next mechanismus, and I'll make.
We'll just go to the East Coast.
That's right. Ooh no! Yeah. Ooh, let's not do that. Let's not go to the East Coast. No offense to anybody on the East Coast.
Are you being sarcastic?
I don't like the East Coast.
Wow. Oh, really?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not for me. But, West Side.
I like it. It's definitely got a vibe.
Right out said that he hated people on the East Coast.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I said I'd.
You're going to be barred from any festival that happens on the East Coast.
I know. They're going to be like, oh, we heard that episode with Jamie.
And the whole East Coast.
Brian lives in Boston, man.
That's right. That's right. Alienating myself from whole scenes. That's all right.
Oh my God. Brian's a Boondock Saint now.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep you guys all day. I want to be respectful of your time, but thank you. And Sam, like I appreciate your sort of your candidness. I will cut it or leave it in, whatever you would prefer.
It's whatever. I'm a oversharing queen, so it's fine.
Me too.
We got to keep it real.
That's right. That's how we roll on Void Signal. Is get it a little too real because 1 minute it's
I don't think there's anything you said, Sam, that sounded weird.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I don't think there's anything that you've said tonight that sounded like weird or.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Cringy. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been fine. I don't know about me, but oh well. But I mean, I don't know. I think that's part of it. Is like, we can talk about shit and we can talk about like getting real stuff and emotion, touchy, feely, gooey things. Anyway, this has been gooey things. This has been wonderful. It's been so good to catch up with both of you, and I've watched what you've both been making over the past year, and you both came on my humble little podcast early on. A lot's happened since then for me and for both of you. Thank you both so much for your time and for your friendship. I'm glad I could finally make your meeting happen. I'm glad I could bring you together in such a way. I did want to ask, like, are BARA ESA's crossover something maybe eventually?
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to happen, isn't it, Sam?
Oh, I think so. But, like, I know that you were super slammed getting your album finished this year.
Yeah.
And then, you asked me to do a little vocal hook on your song, which was fucking cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should definitely do like an actual collab track.
Absolutely. Let's figure out if that is more of a production, an ESA production for a Sam. How am I trying to say this? Like leaning more towards me creating a track for you, or you kind of like banging a lot of vocals on a track that's designed for you, that's an ESA track kind of thing. We'll figure out more down the line. Yeah. Whichever is most logical at the time, I think. Definitely.
Maybe like towards the end of the year, because right now I'm just like all I want to think about is getting my stupid record done. And then you know how it is. And then like maybe I'll actually be excited to work on new music after that.
When the pressure's taken away, that's when you get excited.
Absolutely. And right now I'm definitely feeling like that. Am I ever gonna know how to write a song again? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, I think do that. I sit down to write an album, like, because there's such big chunks of time between them. I'm like, how does my DAW work?
Yeah. Exactly. I haven't been to the studio in like 5 months. Like that's the longest I've been away from Ableton Live in the last 5 years. So,
well,
maybe you should mix it up and violate expectations, and like Sam, you write a song with and Jamie does the vocals like a diva. Like,
everything's just gonna have like violins and like Valhalla reverb. And Jamie's just like, whoa.
Yeah, and you have to like
best Lisa Gerard impression.
You're like, can you record this again? You are fucking this up.
We're gonna quadruple track you.
Right. I mean, I do a great like 80s like singing voice, like I don't even know what kind of artist, but yeah, like a Depeche Mode stroke David Bowie. I do a really good what's the word?
Like a crooning, like
like a proper croon.
A croon.
Yeah.
Crooning.
Wow, who knew?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, there you go.
Okay, I want to hear that.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
okay, just kidding. We're doing a jazz track. We're just doing a jazz track.
Yeah. Oh man.
I would love.
Sorry, go ahead. It's fine. I was just gonna say, okay, I'll just fucking go. I'll just say it. I was just gonna say that, like at Mechanismus, when you were performing with Ivardensphere, the frontman look was it was a good look on you, man. Like, getting up there with the mic and just sort of like versus of an ESA performance where you're very much like, you're being the beast, right? Like you're stalking around the stage doing the ESA thing. But like, it was a good look on you to just sort of like get up there and be smoldering and handsome and like, all the Jamie Blacker things that you do. But like it looks
thinking about baby corn again.
Thinking about, you caught me. Oh, I'm going to tune in tonight, Jamie. Be ready. But like it looks good on you, man. Like, Mr. Frontman.
I appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah. So being a lead singer in the band is kind of like That's my dream. It's just not quite happened yet. I've Sphere. I just don't consider it a prolific thing enough to really say I've achieved that dream. So maybe one day there'll be a band that fits the mold for me to do that. But I was just really enjoying that performance, and then it completely fucked up, didn't it? So it was such a shame. It's been so long since we last played together as well.
It was a shame, but I do appreciate. I mean, everybody there. I mean, the rest of the performance was really strong and really wonderful, and I mean, it was. I mean, of all the audiences for it to happen in front of, that was the one. Like,
oh yeah, they were the kind of. Just to clue you in, basically, Scott was operating the backing, which is not much of because it's like a lot of build up live. But he was operating that from some sort of a unit. Well, I don't even know what it was. He was just not loading the tracks, and I noticed like the second track took a long time to load in, and when he got to the third one or the fourth one, just didn't load in at all. So it was like really awkward for a short space of time. Then I realized I had to like talk to the crowd to fill some time, and when I realized it was still, not happening, they needed to get everybody to start playing like an acoustic tribal drum set, just to keep like the time going on.
Just clap along.
Yeah. I think we did that for about 10 minutes. Probably it felt like forever.
Yeah, Jesus Christ! I was gonna say.
I just gave up.
It was not that long. It was.
Okay.
But it was. I mean, you made the most of it. But the tracks that you guys did get through were wonderful. I mean, some of the most memorable of the festival for me. And I say that as someone who I got to see some of my fucking favorites, and that festival was full of wonderful performances. But yeah, it was a good look on you, and yeah, I'm excited to see what you end up doing next, as always.
Thank you, man.
My pleasure. But yeah, it was so good to catch up with you both. And Sam, thank you so much for sharing what you've been working on. I'm super excited to see your album release and what you end up making. And I'm excited for everybody else to see it.
Yeah, me too.
I really feel like this is the moment that you've kind of found your footing and found something that is very natural on you. And you seem, it's a good look, I guess, is just what I'm trying to say.
Oh, thanks, Brian. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. So I will let you two go. Again, this was such a pleasure, such an honor as always. And yeah, thank you both so much. I hope you have a good rest of your evening and rest of your day.
You too, dude. Thank you.
Thank you.
You too. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of Void Signal, you can visit voidsignal.net to leave me a tip or find out about Void Signal HQ, where you can get early access to episodes. You can also visit voidsignal.online to take a look at some of the merchandise I've designed that's meant to be thoughtful and or humorous. But Void Signal only happens with the support of listeners like you. So thanks so much for your consideration, and anything you can spare helps. Thanks so much. Cheers.